Good morning, Spiritual Life Center. Welcome to the SLC Sunday Experience. We're so glad you're here. Your soul is in the right place at the right time.
I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, yeah, my soul, yeah, yeah. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. Come on. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. Yeah, my soul is welcome here. I can't hear you. My soul is welcome here. Oh yeah, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh yeah, my soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. Yeah, my soul is welcome. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
Your
yes.
soul is welcome here. Good morning. Good morning, Louise. Good to see
morning,
you.
James.
All righty.
Wonderful to see you.
Good to be seen.
And wonderful to see all of you. And we want to welcome you this morning in all that is good, in all that is holy and sacred in this beautiful mission-centric spiritual community, Spiritual Life Center. And whether you are here for the very first time today, you are live stream watching, or you've been here since the very beginning, we know that you are never, ever, 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 ever here by accident. And the truth is, you are here by divine appointment. And we are grateful that you kept that appointment with this community whose mission is to transform lives by loving, serving, and remembering. And I know all of you are trained so well that before you walked in the door, before you even stepped out of your vehicles, you silenced anything that rings, beeps, or chimes because you know you will be graded on your ringtone. So turn those off now.
And as we have that clearing between us and the presence of God where there is no distance at all, remove any obstruction. We realize that we are living, we are moving, we're having our very beingness in a presence that is beyond words, but it is divine love itself. We come under its government and guidance. We allow it to be the activity of our awareness so that every thought we have, the words we speak, the actions that we take, in some way, shape, or form, reflect that presence. We know that we can create the future however we want it. We've been given that power by this presence. And so we create a future and a here and now, for that matter, that infuses the qualities of the presence of God. First of all, the divine love of God itself, the peace that passes all understanding, and all the things that are good and perfect in our world and in our life. And so we go forth this morning knowing that we are supported, sustained, and maintained by this presence. This presence and I and all of us are one. And we have an opportunity to anchor a little bit more of these qualities in our life and in our world. We're grateful and thankful as we go forth, multiplying the all good everywhere we go. And so it is, and so we let it be. Amen. And
how many birthdays are there in this room in August?
August birthdays?
If it's your
please
birthday, stand up.
Stand and we give you a special birthday song.
Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday.
And I wanted to acknowledge our special guests this morning, Dr. Rima Benario and TJ Bartell. And I'm going to share a little bit about them. They're going to be the ones. He's going to give the talk, and TJ is going to do the meditation. But I know Rima for a while, back at the time I was at Unity Worldwide Ministries, but she's been described as a dream weaver, soul coach, wild heart healer. And you'll hear a little bit more about that as she speaks to you this morning. But her work has been facilitating a potent process and soulful healing practice that brings about a reconnection with our inherent sacred wholeness. And Rima speaks and teaches on personal sovereignty, as well as awakening through her in-person and online workshops, group and private coaching sessions, as well as through hands-on healing sessions. She brings a compassionate heart and thoughtful insight to all of her work, and she weaves together a safe and sacred space for her students, as well as others, to experience programs that include elements of myth, archetypes, ritual, ceremony, soul, and shadow work. She is the co-founder with the Q Effect, along with Dr. Jane and Gary Simmons. And of course, this is where the Q process is really originated, so she's had a hand in that. And she holds a doctorate in transformation psychology and studied the soul mentors and energy teachers of very renowned repute. And TJ Bartell is devoted to supporting men and women and couples to awaken their bliss. And his approach integrates modern neuroscience, cutting-edge personal growth techniques, and ancient tantric and Taoist wisdom to provide practical tools to marry science and esoteric wisdom. And he got a bachelor's degree from psychology from San Diego State. He graduated top of his class in the Tony Robbins Mastery University, and he studied energetic mastery with Linda Cacera in Berkeley, California, and for 10 years he's been doing that, and he teaches alongside her. So if they would stand, we can give them a warm Spiritual Life Center welcome this morning.
And I just have to say, we've had a wonderful weekend with Friday, Saturday with Rima and TJ, and they will have a workshop this afternoon she's going to tell you a little bit more about. We also really want to thank Shirley Brown. Shirley, where are you? Would you just stand up for a minute? Shirley made these flowers here. She does the flowers the first Sunday of every month. Thank you. Thank you. And our WOW program coming up this Wednesday is going to be another in the series of ecomusicology. It's with Catherine Mandela. This is her fourth part in the series, and this is Imitating Nature. And she's a dynamite person. You will want to come and experience her presence. And you can do so on Wednesday. You can join us for Salad in the Kitchen at 6 and the program at 7.
And of course, we have our Expo coming up, and we're going to have Elaine share a few words about that.
Good morning, beautiful souls. Well, next Sunday, where will we be? First one, yes. Where will we be? Crown. What time? How many services? There you go. Then I'm also here to tell you, just as we open in this beautiful greeting about us energetically being here by divine appointment, I want to share with you that our Sunday experiences aren't just about the beautiful lessons we hear from our guest speakers and the rockin' band that we always have, but it's every one of you. We are aligned as one in this family, and we really invite you to be part of us. When we say SLC in the community, that means each one of you, so that we can shine and share the love and the light that we are, and as we radiate that in the world. So wait till you see Crown Plaza on the map next Sunday. You're going to have heat sensors because you're going to see the light just coming from us. But I want to tell you a little bit more about the expo, so I have a quick video for you, so enjoy.
Hi, my name is James Trapp. I'm the Senior Minister of Worship at Spiritual Life Center, which is an interfaith spiritual community, which among other things is dedicated to transforming lives so that we can make a positive difference in our world as well as our communities. And we're so excited to partner with Mystic Marketplace for the Emerging Wisdom New Earth Expo that's going to take place on August 11th and 12th at the Sacramento Crown Plaza Hotel. You know, as we go through one of the most significant paradigm shifts in contemporary history, we are blessed to have so many spiritual techniques as well as emerging wisdom tools that are being taught by those extraordinary presenters that will be at the expo. They're going to help you build healthy as well as vibrant relationships. They're going to assist you to bring about your innate wholeness as well as achieve the goals your souls long for. I personally want to invite you to be part of our Sunday morning program, in which we share how we can apply the emerging wisdom teachings to create a world that works for everyone, as well as bring about harmony and unity in our divisive world. You know, it won't be the same without you. So I so look forward to seeing you there at the expo. It's going to be inspiring, it's going to be uplifting, and we're going to have a mighty good time to boot. So I say peace and blessings to you. Once again, I look forward to seeing you at the Emerging Wisdom New Earth Expo on Saturday and Sunday, August 11th and August the 12th.
So there's a lot going on. So we did decide this week to make sure you, again, in your bulletins, this is the flyer that shows a little bit about some featured keynoters. It is a link on our website. The expo is usually $10 a day, but you can bring this flyer and get in for free. Of course, our Sunday service is open to the public. And on the back, we made it a little bit easier for you to spotlight. There are some paid events that are separate, and we identified those. Kimberly Meredith there is the psychic healer, a medical intuitive channeler, and also what we call hands-on surgeon. Dr. Brenda Wade, as we mentioned, is the relationship coach for Dr. Oz, and we'll be talking about sacred relationships. And Patricia Albert in the middle is our Sunday guest speaker. And you'll hear a little bit more about that, her as well. Mary Youngblood, not new to our community, and we will have her beloved, the Grammy, 2 times Grammy Award-winning flautist, will be our evening entertainment if you'd like to join us on Saturday night to hear her music. But take a look at this. Come yourself. Bring your friends, share the message. We're transforming lives, not just starting here, but being that beacon of light for the world. And I'm so excited that to see all of you there next week at the Crowne Plaza.
Thank you, Elaine, for all that you've been doing to make this happen. And just speaking of other activities coming up, just want to let you know, Braving Your Shadow Through the Power of Archetypes is a new 3-week class that's going to be with Teresa Campos. She's a local and well-respected spiritual teacher. She'll help you uncover your unrealized creative potential within you, so that you no longer need to fear the shadow. So you can register today for this series. It's going to start on September the 4th, and you can meet Teresa. She's going to be at the expo next week as well.
Yes. We have also a program coming up. It's called Moving at the Speed of Love. It's actually traveling at the speed of love, but traveling and moving are similar. But it's at the most important thing, it's at the speed of love. And this is presented by Reverend Jim and Reverend Lisa Lee. And he's not a stranger to most of us. So in September, be sure to register for this wonderful opportunity. They are bringing Patricia Albier's work, and Patricia has started a group called
It'll come. It'll come. That happens to me. I just say it'll come eventually.
Evolutionary Collective.
See?
The Evolutionary
I told you.
Collective. And we thank you. And so it's a beautiful organization, and it's a wonderful way to join together in awakening. And so Reverend Dr. Gail Darren is going to present to our women's group coming up soon, and also she will be our Sunday speaker on the 19th. So it's all a beautiful collective wisdom, and come and see Jim and Lisa Lee. They haven't been here for a while. They're going to teach Friday, Saturday. He's going to speak on Sunday, and then they'll have another workshop on Sunday.
And we have a special guest, well, not a special guest, a special presentation from our youth ministry. Somewhere coming through the door at any moment is Lori.
Moment. While she's on her way, note that if you have not submitted your photo for the Life Touch directory, our community directory, you can do so. There are instructions on a pink sheet at the welcome table. No one's paying attention to the pink sheet. Pay attention to the pink sheet. If you haven't submitted your photo, pay attention to the pink sheet. Now pay attention to the lady in pink.
Yeah, to the pink feathers. So, namaste, beautiful spiritual life Center community family. We have some little announcements from Youth Ed. First thing I would like to do is just give a bunch of love and appreciation to the Youth Ed team. So I haven't been here a lot this summer, but I am not missed, which is, you know, the good news and the bad news, right? But we have such a beautiful, beautiful team. And Betsy has been just a foundation of this program for many years. And so shout out for Betsy Johnson. And we'll hit the whole crew over there. Rev Janae, she has been with Youth Ed forever, and we love her so, and she's amazing. And Mary, Marvelous Mary, your chaplain Mary today, she has been coming to Youth Ed forever too, and she just comes because she likes us. Isn't that amazing? Like, she, you know? And Corinne is one of our newer volunteers, and she started this year with us and was just coming with us every Sunday, and then she had a doctor's thing and had to be gone, and we missed her so much, and now she's back. Yay! And speaking of back, in the Wayback Machine, no, not yet. In the Wayback Machine is, you'll poke somebody's eye out, take it down. So Michael Lawson is our YOU sponsor, and they went to Unity Village, had a great time. We're so appreciative of Michael. And who remembers Aiden Willett when he was a little? And he has grown, and he's one of our helpers and helps with our Unitweens. And so we're just so blessed to have a beautiful, beautiful team. All right, we've been up to So Good this summer. We've had a couple of group projects. It's been our summer of I Am, the I Am that I am, yes, that I am. And so we're putting our ebook together. People have been making pages all summer. So everything from I Am Peaceful, Om Shanti, to I Am, holy. That's good.
Swiss.
I like
could
it.
Be Swiss.
I am Swiss.
Could be Swiss.
Yeah, it's up to interpretation. Jonathan's being shy, but he's a helping and encouraging friend. He is. And Saliwa.
I am musical and spiritual.
Yes. So, I know. So we started our summer with dinosaurs, and Liam Lawson is a great flying kind of guy, and he had the brainchild for the pterodactyl. Come forward. This turned out to be the most amazing project. Every Sunday the kids worked on it, and it was such a lesson in cooperation and co-creation, as well as just, as you can see, extreme beauty. And then Gil, our Mr. Safety guy, he got behind the project today with a little bow. Isn't that amazing? And so it's going to be flying now. So when you come out of the sanctuary, it's going to be, yeah. Well, it's going to hang. Jonathan's like, are you sure it's going to fly? It's actually going to hang, but it'll look like it's flying. So yes, it's fun to be us. In August, we're continuing the I Am with making some individual I Am books. And of course, August, it's here, finally, the Feathers of Freedom Family Camp! I'm only a little excited. So I am actually so delighted that Spiritual Life Center has partnered with my nonprofit, Creative Spirit Families. And so many of you are coming to camp. And we have a couple cabins. So in case a few of you are like, oh, I didn't sign up, guess what? We extended it. Just a couple days. So 8/8 is our cutoff. You can see Claire in the courtyard if you would like to join us. And we would love it if you would. Louise is coming.
No cooking.
No cooking. The Lawsons are coming. Caitlin is coming. And so anyway, it's a beautiful, beautiful time in the Sacred Sierras. And if you don't make it this year, put it on your freedom calendar for next year, okay? Because I do this every August. All right, we'll let you go. Thank you so much. And may we all take a big breath. Oh, I forgot. We were going to sing. Sorry. I know you're ready to get rid of me, but we're just going to sing with you, and then we're out. I swear. 4 lines, and we're out. Okay, it's 8, because you're going to sing them back to us. Ready? I am breath, I am bones, I am body. My body is my spirit home. I embody my timeless spirit. Spirit lives in my breath and bones. I am that I am. Okay, so thank you, and we are.
Lori always wakes us up in case we're asleep.
We just have a happening place. And
You mentioned the directory, yes?
well, I mentioned the directory, the pink sheet. You remember the pink sheet? Okay, I believe you. So how many of you have been in Faith in Action groups before? Okay, Faith in Action is right around the corner, and today you can begin to sign up online to be a home host or a facilitator. So join us and open your home for that 6-week program. You open your home for 1 evening or day per week so that you can join in small group community to deepen the study. And this year we have selected Wisdom of the Shamans by Jose Ruiz, and he will be with us for a kickoff on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That is the first weekend in October. So sign up to be a home host or a facilitator online today.
And our ambassadors and prayer
And
chaplains?
Now we want to introduce you to some amazing people, our ambassadors and our prayer chaplains. Thank you so much. Those ambassadors, they wear the rainbow ribbon, and that is the signpost. They are here to offer you a warm welcome and point you in the direction if you have any questions. Our prayer chaplains wear those white stoles, and that's the symbol of their mission. And their mission is they serve at least 1 full year with us. They hold us in confidential prayer, and whether you are celebrating or you have a challenge, they are here to pray with you. So they'll be in the back of the sanctuary after service and then across the breezeway. So please see them for prayer. Thank you, chaplains.
And if you're here for the very first time, we're going to ask you to raise your hand in just a moment. But for the moment, we'd also like to really want to let you know how you can connect with Spiritual Life Center and really get to know people on a more personal level. And we'll give you a welcome card, and that was something you can hand in at the end of the service when we do the offertory, or you can take it to the welcome table at the end of the service in the courtyard as well.
Very good. We're also going to ask you to raise your hand now. Hold it up.
Any
If
first
you're here
timers
for
here
the
today?
first time.
Any first timers? Keep your hand up.
We're going to hand you a chalet And there is a blessing on that chalet, and it reads, "We believe we are spiritual beings having a human experience, and that there are many paths to the one God. And we want you to know we are grateful you are with us today."
We got one up.
And we have one up here. And after we get that chalet over to her, we're going to have you all stand and greet all our newcomers and each other.
Greet each other and say, "You look marvelous. Good to have you here today." I am an expression of the Spirit,
of the Spirit,
of the Spirit,
of the Spirit.
I am an expression
of
the Spirit,
of the Spirit,
of the Spirit,
of the Spirit.
a beautiful
A beautiful
expression
expression
of the Spirit,
of the Spirit,
of the Spirit,
of the Spirit.
magnificent
Magnificent
expression
expression
of the Spirit,
of the Spirit,
of the Spirit,
of the Spirit.
a unique, unrepeatable expression of God,
A unique, unrepeatable expression of God.
a unique, unrepeatable expression of God.
A unique, unrepeatable expression of God.
I am
I
an expression
am an expression
of the Spirit,
of the Spirit,
of the Spirit.
of the Spirit.
I am
I
an expression
am an expression
of the Spirit,
of the Spirit,
of the Spirit.
of the Spirit.
Right time,
Right time,
right place,
right place.
an expression
An expression
of the Spirit.
of the Spirit.
I'm fabulous,
I'm fabulous.
I got it,
I got it.
an expression
An expression
of the Spirit,
of the Spirit.
a unique, unrepeatable expression of God,
A unique, unrepeatable expression of God.
a unique, unrepeatable expression of God.
A unique, unrepeatable expression of God.
I am
I am
an expression
an expression
of the Spirit,
of the Spirit,
of the Spirit.
of the Spirit.
I am
I am
an expression
an expression
of the Spirit,
of the Spirit,
of the Spirit.
of the Spirit.
So, as a community, we have been exploring our shadows and our magnificence always. And we've been speaking it together as we embrace all of it and know that it all helps us to live with nothing and no one against us. So let's read these together. Please have compassion for us when we are being not enough, distrusting, grieving, blaming, powerless, and fearful, because this is who we have come here to be, inspired in integrity, joy-filled, compassionate, unstoppable, generous, and transformational. And let's embody those qualities as we speak together our vision statement. Spiritual Life Center is a loving, vibrant family that welcomes home all people and accepts everyone, no exceptions, weaving ancient spiritual traditions with emerging wisdom. We cultivate a spiritual deepening with the divine, each other, and our planet. And now, as we prepare for meditation, we will sing our mission statement.
Let's everybody take a really deep breath. And imagine that breath going right into your belly, into the core of your being as you center. Breathe in, and as you exhale, lower your eyes. Imagine the core of your body beginning to glow brightly. All the way down to the root of your body and out your feet. Roots, just like the roots of a tree. As they deepen and puncture the earth and go deep inside the earth, they connect with all the roots of all the trees and plants and flowers. All the plant life that was here before us. And allow the roots to deepen with every breath, all the way down to the center of the earth, allowing your roots to wrap around the bedrock. These magical roots are impervious to fire, but the life force energy, the loving light in the center of the earth, gently begins to climb up these roots. Sipping it like you would a milkshake through a straw, bringing the earth's love and light and life force energy into your core. And allow your core to glow brightly as it glows to the edge of your skin and then out to the edge of your auric space, just about as far as your arms would stretch if they were open. And as it glows, It sends away any energy that doesn't serve you, any energy that is not yours. If it's another person's, allow it to go home to them. If not, let the earth have it, and she'll take care of it just like she does all the other natural things that we do not need. And she'll make it into something beautiful, bring it back as flowers or a tree. Deepening your breath even more, see if you can sense the edge of your auric space and claim that space for your own, templating the way Mother Earth has done that. Even though we're dizzying speeds spinning right now, hurling through space thousands of miles per hour, her auric edge protects us from meteors and rocks and all kinds of things. You can do that as well. So imagine claiming all the space on the inside of your edge and not allowing distraction, anything that's not yours, anything that doesn't serve you, to penetrate that edge ever again. You get to choose the environment that you live in, to love, serve, and remember. Now allow your body to remember a time, perhaps it was pre-birth, but definitely pre-wounded, where you spoke the language of nature and you had no doubt that you were a child of light and love, perfect in your being. You loved everyone and you never questioned your lovability. And then something happened, and often we spend the rest of our life looking for this state. So allow yourself to embrace your true self, which is unconditionally loving, completely tolerant, celebratory, euphoric, and blissful. Bliss is your birthright. It's one of the beautiful things that come with these amazing human bodies that we have. And allow yourself to breathe that energy into your belly, into your power center, and claim your power. It cannot be taken away or given to you. It can't be diluted or hindered by the good or bad behavior or opinion of others. Just like the sun, your power is always there, even when you can't detect it. All you have to do is give it some energy and attention and remember who you are, which is a child of light, created in the image of perfection. And in your perfection is your constant desire to improve and grow and contribute beyond yourself. As you love, serve, and remember who you are, and allow your edge to protect you the way the earth's edge protects us. And allow yourself physiologically to remember what it's like to be unconditionally loving, unconditionally lovable, and to be love itself. As you deepen your breath, allow those roots to ground even more deeply, and see the center of your brain starting to glow, waking you up, clearing your perceptions. Continue breathing and smiling into your core. When you smile, you encourage your body to vibrate in the place of love. Two major vibrations on the planet, love or fear, and they're always lobbying for your attention. Where you put your attention grows. So allow yourself to vibrate in this place of unconditional love. Take a few more breaths, and when you open your eyes, open them as if it's the first time you've ever opened them, with cleared perceptions. Letting go of any energy that doesn't serve you, any patterns that have been given to you without your permission, anything keeping you from being your true, happy, powerful, blissful self. And when those eyes open, again, your perception will be cleared so that the things that you've learned in the past no longer hinder you from the things that you desire learning in the present moment. And embrace this present moment. Celebrate being here today, being alive, and being your own unique self. Just like the rest of the plants and flowers on the planet, your beauty is yours. It's unique. It has nothing to do with your size or shape, how much money's in your bank or what your clothes look like or what car you drive. It's just who you are. So continue celebrating being you, vibrating in your own unique frequency and dancing to your own unique rhythm, and celebrate being you in love and service.
I met a prophet, dark as the night. She could see into my soul. Said she'd been watching and had some advice. She said shadows make you whole. A life without pain is a wolf in sheep's clothes. 'Cause if you listen to the lessons that it holds, you'll find the gold. Child, it's time to break the shell. Life's gonna hurt, but it's meant to be felt. You cannot touch the sky from inside yourself. You cannot fly until you break the shell. I can remember when I was a child, how the grown folks seem so crazy. Why are they so angry? Why are they so loud? And when I grow up, that's never ever gonna be me. That was the moment that I decided that I would build a wall just short of 6 feet tall, too strong to fall. Child, it's time to break the shell. Life's gonna hurt, but it's meant to be felt. You cannot touch the sky from inside yourself. You cannot fly until you break the shell. Courage is not being hard. It's time to peel back all of the layers between who you're meant to be and who you are, and go be who you are. So much disappointment to finally understand that there is no such thing as perfect. We're all simply doing the best that we can, and we have a choice to live and truly be alive. This is your life, child. It's time to break the shell. Life's gonna hurt, but it's meant to be felt. You cannot touch the sky from inside yourself. You cannot fly until you break. Child, it's time to break the shell. Life's gonna hurt, but it's meant to be felt. You cannot
bird cannot fly until it breaks its shell.
Do with these words what you will. It's time for us to be for real. You'll be stuck on the ground until you finally break the shell.
Julian Cunningham.
Oh, thank you, music team. And I would say, without any further ado, please give another warm welcome to our Dr. Rima Benario.
According to an old Hindu legend, we humans were once gods. And I guess we were having just a little bit too much fun, and something went on, and we eventually abused our divinity, and Brahma, the chief god, said, no, can't have this, and he took it away. And so he called a council of the gods to come together to come up with a place for where they were going to hide our divinity. And the first god said, I've got an idea, let's bury it deep in the earth. And Brahma said, no, 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 we can't do that. Those humans, they're industrious. They'll dig up the entire earth looking for their divinity. A second god said, I know, let's sink it deep in the ocean. And again, Brahma laughed and said, oh, those humans, they'll learn how to dive. They will go all over the earth in all the oceans looking for their divinity. A third god said, how about up on the highest mountaintop? We'll put it there. Surely they won't find it there. And again, Brahma just shook his head and said, they will climb up and down all over trying to find that divinity, and they will find it. So the gods threw up their hands and said, well, we just don't know what to do. And Brahma began to think. And after a little while of thinking, he came up with the perfect answer. He said, I know just where to hide their divinity. We are going to hide it inside their bodies, in their truest selves, because they'll never think to look there. And so the deed was done, and the rest is history. As humans, we have been seen searching the earth, digging down, diving into the ocean, up on the highest mountain, looking everywhere we can to find our divinity except within. Okay, let me make a little adjustment here. How's that? Better? Less popping. Okay. So, aren't we lucky to come to a beautiful spiritual center like this that teaches us that our divinity is within? Isn't that wonderful and amazing? So I was fortunate during my early years of my spiritual journey to have an incredible experience of awakening. And I had this wonderful moment of oneness while I was reading the book, The Mastery of Love by Don Miguel Ruiz. I recommend the book. It's a wonderful book. I can't guarantee you'll have the same experience. But he was coming to speak at our Unity Church, and I'm always an A+ student, so of course I wanted to read the book ahead of time. And they were out of the 4 agreements, so I got the other book, and I'm reading along, and somehow, some way, about 4 pages from the end, something I read or the thoughts that I was entertaining, some miracle happened, and my heart just cracked open. And I had this experience of looking out of my window, and I could see the trees sort of waving in the breeze. And I knew that I was the trees, and the trees were me. And I looked at the roses on my coffee table, and there was a petal that had fallen off, and I picked it up and I put it on my forehead, and I knew that I was the petal and the petal was me. And I just sobbed for joy. I lost complete track of time. The next day, I wanted to be that A+ student, so I said, I better go get that other book. I mean, who knows what will happen with that one? And I went down to Barnes & Noble, and I was checking out, and this young man was just beaming at me. And I thought, wow, he's in a good mood. And then I felt my face, and I could see that I had been beaming at him. And so that beaming was coming back to me. And I watched over the course of the next 5 days, every thought that I had that was a judgment or a separation or some kind of part of me that wasn't feeling connected to, I saw it, and then I had this reaction. Oh, look, I get to drive a Hummer. I had big judgments against people that drove Hummers. Oh, look, I get to have a mohawk and have piercings in my face. That was not a choice that I would have made. And I had this amazing experience of being in this place of unbelievable connection and oneness. Until about Thursday of that week when I had the thought, I wonder how long this is going to last. Silly me. But you know, that experience of bliss was incredible. My body actually changed as a result of having that experience. And I became really, really curious about how I could have an embodied spirituality so that that was my regular experience of life all the time. And part of my work with Dr. Gary and Dr. Jane in creating the Q effect and the Q process has been about that work of clearing out those blocks and finding ways to have that kind of aliveness and connection and love all the time. So I understand you all are so lucky to have Louise and Elaine here that are doing the Q process with you. I'd just love to see how many of you have taken the class so far, done the 20. Wow, well, congratulations to all of you. I hope that it's serving you as well as it's been serving me, because this is really like an earth school for us, where we're here to remember our divinity. So I'm going to share a little quote with you from Dr. Gary's book, The Soul's Conspiracy. It goes like this. No matter what circumstances may be arising in our life, at the core of each of us, at the level of our soul, we are always and forever whole and complete. Like we know that, right here? However, we live in an environment that does not completely mirror our wholeness or our innate worth. The world tends to support and reinforce a sense of separation, conditional worth, self-worth, and the priorities that live out of our judgments and expectations. So sometimes we're in this process of not necessarily moving toward that aliveness, but trying to move away from something that isn't mirroring that wholeness back to us, right? And I had been doing this work with the Q for many years, maybe about 8 years or more by this time, a couple years ago. I went back to Canada, which is where I grew up, and I took my family with me. And you know, I was feeling pretty good about the work I was doing in the Q. I mean, you know, here I am, a founder. I do my worksheets. I'm really on it. And that morning, we got up. I was taking my husband to see the childhood home where I grew up. Now, what you have to know about this story is that my parents chose to leave Canada the year before I started high school. So it's a bit traumatic for me to make that move to leave London, Ontario, a wonderful small town where I had lots of autonomy, and move all the way to Houston, Texas. You feel me, right? Yeah. Yeah. So I had done all my worksheets on that and forgiven my parents and, you know, reconnected with myself, grown myself up, created a new reality, all that great stuff. So we're just driving along through town, and we get down Richmond Street just to the top of Victoria Park, and all of a sudden, I burst into tears. Uncontrollable, and I'm driving, and my husband's like, honey, don't you need to pull over? No, I'm fine, I'm okay. And I was totally taken by surprise by the fact that my body still had shadow material to deal with. No matter how well I had done with my meaning-making apparatus, there was still more that was living in my body. And that sent me on another journey, which had to do with finding a way to deal with the things that were in my body. Now, you have to know this about me. I was not a big fan of my body, and I don't mean how it looked. I mean, I just thought it was a big old pain. You know, I'm a brain girl, and then I found new thought, and I became a heart girl, which was wonderful. But the body, I mean, who needs that thing? I mean, you got to water it, you got to feed it, you got to exercise it, you know, you got to make sure it gets enough sleep. I mean, what a pain. Seriously. And, of course, due to some of my circumstances, there were points of pain in my body that I didn't want to feel. So I had learned to really not be present in my body. And I had no idea how much of a disservice I was doing to myself by not being willing to be in my body, how much pleasure, how much joy, how much delight I was missing. I even remember having a conversation with my husband one day and saying, you know, if you look at our lives, anybody looking out from the outside in would say we have like the perfect life. But it's like there's this sort of film between me and my joy. I can't quite touch it, can't quite feel it. It's like a little bit of a numbness. So sometimes it's not the sobs that we're feeling, but it might be like this numbness or this space of not quite being able to touch the depth of who we are. So I began to get onto this work and realized very quickly that in the chakra system, I had completely avoided working on the bottom 3 chakras. You know, I call them the forgotten chakras. Anybody recognize that? So, okay, we're all about the heart and the throat and the third eye and divinity, open that all up. Well, it became very clear that if I wanted to make the kind of difference that I wanted to make for my family, for myself, and my work, I was going to need to commit to be here fully, all the way down into my body. And the thing about the bottom 3 chakras is that's where all the juicy stuff hangs out, right? That's where all the big things reside. So your root chakra is where you recognize your right to exist. And the piece that comes with that is fear. That's where the fear hangs out. So if you would like to resolve any issues you have of fear, guess what? You're going to need to make friends with your root chakra. The second chakra is where our right to desire hangs out. How many of us are feeling comfortable with our desire? This is where our creativity, our sexuality, our sensuality hangs out. And what goes along with that is the challenge of guilt. Now, I was raised Catholic. Yeah? Maybe some of you are former Baptists, you know? Like maybe there's a little bit of that guilt stuff hanging around in there. If you want to deal with it, you're going to have to do work in that chakra. And then the third one that we often forget is the power chakra, the solar plexus. This is where you gain your right to a self. And then your personal power. So if you sometimes notice you have issues with your personal power, this is the place to do the work. And the challenge with that is shame. Many of us, as we began to try to self-express, got told to shut that stuff right down, right? And so shame became part of our puzzle. So if you want to do some work to remove those things, you're going to have to get into your body. This is what I discovered, and I began to do this work, and I discovered it was so important for me to understand that besides a physical body, my body is an energetic field. And so there is a whole energy body associated with my body. And if I didn't begin to do the work to master that energy body, I was forever going to be running behind. And we've spent this weekend playing with some of these incredible techniques that I've been learning over the last couple of years. And TJ just did a marvelous meditation where he moved you through some of these incredible steps of grounding yourself through your roots, of moving into the place of connecting with your core and establishing a healthy energetic boundary and removing anything that does not belong to you, and then calling back any bits of yourself you've scattered around and left anywhere. Does anybody else do that? And then clearing your channels. And this afternoon, we're going to go even deeper into another layer of this work, which is about understanding energetic habits. So I had no idea that I had habits of moving my energy. It turns out there's about 5 repeatable habits or patterns of how we move our energy when we have too much energy in our body. And I was completely taken by surprise when I learned about this. And I'll give you a couple of examples of how this changed my life. I work from home. My husband worked at a regular job. And so around 5:30, 6 o'clock, Tobias would come home, and I'd be in a great mood, working all day long, really focused on what I was doing, feeling productive, actually feeling excited to see him when he came home. But somehow, inevitably, by the time he would step in the door, and I would see him or we'd get in each other's energy field, I would feel suddenly grumpy. and irritated. And I would think, well, there he goes again, bringing his energy home from work. I wish he'd just clean that stuff up on the way home in the car. You know the story, right? Well, I came to find out that what was really going on was that my energy field was so huge, it basically took up the whole house, and the poor man had no space to come in and not feel invasive to me. But it was my job and my role to learn to pull my energy back in and be able to contain it in a space and in a way where there was space for him and we didn't have that static that would unfold between us. It was life-altering. And I had this brought home even more deeply to me when I got home from that training. And I was aware of what I thought my daughter's pattern was. And so when I came in the door, I was doing my work to hold my energy in nice and cleanly. And I watched her racing for my energy. Did not feel good to see her doing that. And so I just had a moment of feeling compassion for myself and kept on doing my work. And she did that thing that maybe you've seen a dog in a commercial do where it goes, You know, like, what is going on here? You don't feel the same. And so after a little while, she sort of thought, okay, this is going to be all right. And about a day later, 2 days after I got home, she came to me and she said, Mom, there's something going on with one of the boys at my school and I really need to talk to you about it. And I was so touched by how clear it was to me that because I had learned to make room for her and make energetically safe for her, not with behavior, not with conversation, but with my energy, I had made it safe for her to come to me and to share what was on her heart. So this call to you, this challenge to you, is to take your work to the next level. To look not just at your behaviors and how you're managing things with your Q process work, but also to look at how you are managing your energy and to take responsibility for your energetic hygiene. Not only to keep out what can throw you off of your center, because we all want to be beautiful light in the world, but to make sure that you aren't inadvertently sending anything of yours out onto anyone else as well. There's a great story that illustrates the power of this practice, also from this book. Long ago, in feudal China, there lived a compassionate and wise Zen master named Mundra. His mountain home was host to many travelers and spiritual students, including abbots and monks from neighboring monasteries. Throughout the land, he was known as a master of unfathomable courage and presence. One day, news came that a very vicious warrior was making his way across the country, attacking villages and monasteries and killing anyone who showed the slightest resistance. Knowing that this warrior was particularly hateful of holy men, the people in the village wanted Mundra to leave, but he refused. He went instead to the center of the village and waited. Days later, when the warrior appeared, to his amazement, even though all others had fled for safety, Mundra was sitting right there, motionless in the afternoon sun. Infuriated by Mundra's defiance, Khan dismounted his horse, drew his sword, and placed the blade right at his chest. "Don't you know who I am, old man?" growled Khan. "I can run you through without even blinking an eye." And Mundra, centered and serene, spoke to Khan directly and said, "And I, sir, can be run through in the blink of an eye." And Khan was so touched and so moved and so astonished by this that he lowered his blade, bowed at Mundra's feet, and begged to be accepted as his disciple. Clearly, Khan saw the power and grace present in masterful non-resistance. So that is what can happen when we seek to work very deeply at the level of our body and our energy field, where we become a non-anxious presence, so that the very person we are, our very presence in existence, is a healing force. We have greater vitality, greater bliss, greater aliveness and greater potential for healing. And as you seek to remember and to love and to serve the truth of who you are, you become so loving, so lovable, and so loved that you know yourself as love, the truth of who you are. And so it is. One side.
Thank you, Rima. And there'll be more of what she presented as she go more in depth this afternoon with her workshop at 1:30. Awaken Your Bliss, and to bring you techniques to, I don't know how to describe it. We just have to go over her talk again because there was a lot in there, a lot of good stuff. And just a reminder, next week, if you come here, we won't be here. And where are we going to be? And what time? One service. Yes, just a reminder. So bring your friends. We're going to have a wonderful time. And this is the time of the service where someone said that this is their favorite time of the service. And I said, really? He said, yeah, this is where I get a chance to really participate in the giving process. Because I know that good stuff is coming in my life and in our world. So I invite you to take your gift, your love offering, your tithe. No matter how you have given in the past, just know that right at this moment, you're always in that flow of something that is unchangeable and something that when we get in tune with it, realize that uplifts us and uplifts our community and our world. So I invite you to join in saying our offertory blessing together and feel it within every cell of your body temple, because it is the truth. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate. Thank you, God.
Before we do our final song, I'd like to have two quick announcements. One is that on Tuesday, August 21st, we will begin our choir rehearsals for our new season. So if you have the inkling, we would love to have some more folks join us, especially tenors. And we rehearse here in the sanctuary on Tuesday evenings at 7 o'clock. And our first Sunday experience will be on September 16th with Jim and Lisa Lee. So that's going to be very nice. And I would also like us to give a nice, warm acknowledgement to Julian Cunningham. Since he was last here, he's been on tour in New Orleans and otherwhere, and he's also recorded a CD. And his band is called Idea Team, and the name of this project is Kinetic. And so some of these titles: Working, We the People, Breezy, Put It on the Table, On the Run, Follow the Music, Euphoria, Holy Ghost, and Roots. Some funky soul for you. He's got some CDs in the courtyard that you can take a little bit of him home with you if you'd like. Now we're going to do a little Curtis Mayfield.
Hush now, child, and don't you cry. Your folks might understand it by and by. Just move on up towards your destination. Though you may find from time to time occasions. Bite your lip and take a trip. There may be a wet road ahead and you cannot slip. Yeah. Just move on up, for peace will find. Into the steeple with beautiful people, and there's only one kind. So hush now, child, and don't you cry, no, no. Your folks might understand you by and by. Just move on up and keep on wishing. Remember your dream is your only scheme, so keep on pushing, yeah. Take nothing less than your very best. Do not obey rumors people say. You can pass the test, yeah. Just move on up to a greater day. With just a little faith, if you put your mind to it, you can surely do it, yeah.
We are moving on up. Or at least I am. I don't know about you after hearing that. As I said earlier, it kind of woke up something within every cell of my body. Back in the day when Curtis Mayfield first came out with that song in 1971. I remember the year. So we bless these tithes and offerings, knowing they're going to bless the givers and receivers as we go forth multiplying the all good, moving up in every area of our life to amplify the all good of the Spirit of the living God everywhere that we go. It is done. We are grateful, and so it is. Amen. Let us join together and sing our peace song together. as we feel that with every